Greetings, Facebook world. Day 3 of my 10-day video challenge to bring some value every day. And for those of you that have been following, it's all about taking back control and not being taken over by fear. Fear, F-E-A-R, false evidence appearing real. Now, I want to just share with you today a very, very simple and powerful tool. And it's one that I first came across about 20 years ago, and it really changed how it just made so much sense to me. It really changed how I roll. And the way it works is that you identify two circles. I want to make this really practical for you, and I want to break it down. This is a tool that can be used in any situation, and it's all about putting your focus in the right place. I do want to acknowledge I didn't put a video up yesterday. I wasn't aware of a whole load of fear, but I was just feeling flat and exhausted and had no energy. And I want to make sure that when I'm sharing, I share my best energy. And I also just want to be honest. And this is a challenging time for all of us. So I don't want to pretend that I'm in no way affected. I'm just doing my best to navigate through these circumstances. And this is life, isn't it? This is life. We don't have to be perfect. So anyway, here we are, and I want you, if you haven't already done so, to get a sheet of paper. It doesn't matter what size. You're just going to do 2 columns on this sheet of paper. And you're gonna write down different things in the 2 columns. And what I want to share with you is so simple as a tool. There's a graphic that I'll put in the comments that goes into a bit more detail. But especially for anyone who might be struggling with fear, I want to make this for you as simple and as easy as possible. When fear takes over, it can be really easy for things to seem a lot more complicated than they are. So I want to make this really simple. Okay, so we're going to be working with 2 circles. So on the top left, hi, and thank you for whoever's sending me a little bit of love there. I appreciate that. So up on the left, put a circle, and I want you to write in the middle, concern. This is your circle of concern up on the left. Now up on the right of your sheet of paper, I want you to write down circle of influence. Okay, so write down a circle, draw a circle, and just put, let me show you here, make it even easier. So on that one there, you put influence. So if you need to, if you're watching this on the replay and you need to pause it to go and do that, that's cool. Or just go and grab a sheet of paper now. Don't try and do it on your phone or something like that, just on a sheet of paper. So here I'm doing it now. You go concern on the left, and you go influence on the right. Like anything in life, you can kind of listen and be like, how does this work? Or you can actually do it. And doing it is where the magic happens. So it's just as simple as that. So you've got your circle of concern and your circle of influence. Now, what are they? Well, the circle of concern is all the things that you might be concerned about, that might be causing you fear. Okay, so what are things going to be like in the future? So future events. I don't know what's going to happen, but I could be concerned about it. I could be worried about what's going to happen. I could be worried about financial crisis. I could be worried about what's going to happen in the future financially. And you go on and you list down whatever it is that you're concerned about. You may be concerned about the effect on your loved ones. There may be health concerns for loved ones. You may be concerned, if you're around children or other adults, of how they are being affected psychologically. Yeah? So psychological effects, and I'm going to put in brackets kids. You know, someone who's doing the challenge messaged me the other day and said, "Hey, look, I'm concerned about, you know, how do I act around my son? Do I try and pretend I'm not afraid? How do I share it with him? Like, you know, when I am feeling some anxiety and concern." So those are some of the things just written down there. Okay, now the whole point of this, and you probably know this already, but the whole point of this, it's so simple, but so powerful, is that you instead look at the things that you can change. Okay, so for example, daily habits. Okay, so you can change your daily habits. Now, whether you're in quarantine or even if someone's incarcerated, even if you were locked in a small cell and you couldn't move about, you can still control where you put your focus in your daily habits, right? So what are daily habits that you do that work for you, that nourish you? Maybe you want to write those down or share them on here, but on this list you just write down, you know, daily habits. That is something I can do something about. You see how it works? These are things I'm concerned about, that I could worry about, and these are things that I can do something about. Okay, so another one is nutrition. Okay, so you might have limited access to ingredients, but you can still, you know, you could just have some cereal with a load of sugar on it, or you can cook something, or if you've got some access to some fresh vegetables, be resourceful, do whatever you can with what you've got, but you do have some influence over that. You could be doing maybe some intermittent fasting. Okay, so where you limit your eating to a certain window of time. Another thing is you could, you know, control what information you are consuming. So you can go on a media diet. So you can choose, well, what information am I going to consume? Now, it can be very easy to get stuck in a loop of feeling anxious and feeling like I don't know what's going to happen, so I'm going to look for information to help me to feel less anxious. Then you look up information and then you feel more anxious, and it keeps on going. So bring some awareness to that. Is the information that you're taking in helping you with your fear levels? Is it freaking you out? So just be intelligent about it. But all I'm saying is that these are the things that you have influence over. So, you know, make your list. You're really welcome to share this with me if you want to. And you know, so here's my little list that I just cooked up just now. And I'll post a photo of that. Now, what happens is that this is now all about where you put your focus. Yeah. So basically, your circle of concern can become very big. I mean, there's a lot of potential things that you could be worrying about right now. You know, we talked about some of those fears the other day. You could be worried about all sorts of things, right? And when you put your focus on those things, that circle is going to expand. Now, what if you decided to say, okay, I'm going to work on putting more of my focus on the things that I can influence. So you're going to put your energy into your circle of influence. So instead of worrying about future events, potential financial crisis, effect on your loved ones, psychological effects on kids, you are going to put your focus instead on your daily habits, your nutrition. Maybe you'll do intermittent fasting, being aware of what information you consume, and maybe, let's say, communication. So clear communication with your loved ones. I can't stress enough that at this time, it's so easy for people to get narky with each other. So let's communicate really clearly, and let's check that, if you're trying to communicate something, that it's actually being understood how you meant it to be. So that's all I wanted to share. Uh, I'm thinking about putting together a Zoom call for people who want to come together and, um, do some of this work live in real time. So if you're interested in that, say yes, please, to a Zoom call. And I mean, just to finish off this little model. If you want to read more about it, check out Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's a great book, and habit 1 is all about this. Habit 1 is be proactive. So what happens is you pull your energy. So here's, you start off with, here is your circle of concern. Here is all the things that you could be worrying about. Statistics and numbers that you can't change anything about. And what you do is you pull your focus back in tighter. And you say, right, I am going to put my focus on the things that I can influence. And we just went through those 2 lists, right? Now, here's the cool thing. When you do that, your circle of influence is going to expand, yeah? So, for example, what can I do? So right now, one of my concerns is, oh, well, hosting Airbnb in the summer on my boat was going to be getting going right now. I could be concerned about that. That's a real thing. That has financial implications. It has implications for what I can, what I'm going to be doing in the summer. So I could be concerned about, is there a future to this? I don't know. And I can't really control that. But what I can control is saying, okay, well, I can communicate with people. So right now, you guys are, communicating with you is something I can do. So I'm putting my focus, not worrying about the big things I can't control, but in what can I do? This is my circle of influence. And whether it's small or big doesn't matter. But when we put our energy into that, that expands. A few people shared some of my other videos. Great. I hope this message can reach the people that want to hear it, that are open to it. So I would like you to go ahead and test this. Write down your 2 lists and share. Share what you noticed. What did you learn? Did it help? And remember, we're using this tool of saying, what's your fear level? So if you're at a fear level of 7 or 8, I can guarantee you that you are putting more of your attention on your concerns than your circle of influence. You see, when you shift from circle of concern to circle of influence, here's what happens. You feel like you're more in control because your energy is going to something you can do something about. So you might notice that your fear level goes from like a 7, maybe down to a 5, or even down to a 3 or a 2. So let me know how it goes, and I will be in touch soon with more information. If you want to sign up and get information on this, just let me know, and I'll update you. I'll tag you. I can. I'm setting up something so I can email people. There's a WhatsApp group. If you want to be involved in this, I'm just going to keep doing these, and you can participate however you want to participate. There's no, you have to do it like this or that. But set up some fear hygiene for yourself. Set something up, and if you want to communicate, let me know. That's it for now. Hope it helps. Let me know. Ciao.